This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com. As we prepare for Parshas Vayeira, there's a very amazing sefer named the Sefer HaChaim, written by Rabbeinu Chaim, the brother of the Maharal of Prague. And he tells us something remarkable about the word Gemara. He says, V'chein ha-Torah shebal peh, the oral law, hu ha-megina al Yisrael, is what protects the Jewish people. If you want to know what protects the Jewish people, well, certain protection, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. The Iron Dome can be effective, but what's most effective is Torah shebal peh. Ulakach nikres Gemara. That is why it is called Gemara. What is Gemara? Shehu Rashi Tevois Shel Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. Gemara is an acronym, Rashi Tevos, Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. Loimar, to teach, Ki ha'esek beGemara, one who learns Gemara, Choyne Malach Hashem, Saviv Lai Lahatzilai. The angel of God encamps around him to save him. Miminai Michael, Umismailai Gavriel. On your right side is Michael, on your left side is Gavriel. Milafanav Uriel. Before you is Uriel, Me'achayrav Raphael, and on top of you, Shechina's Kel. Okay? And Rabbeinu Chaim, the brother Maharal Prague, also wrote another very interesting sefer called Igeres Hatil. And in the sefer Igeres Hatil, Rabbeinu Chaim writes the same thing, that the word Gemara is Rashi Tevois, Noitrikoin, Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. Maggid, that teaches, Shekal Oisek beGemara, anyone who learns Gemara, Hinei Malachi Hashem Saviv Lai L'Shamra Mikara, the angels of God surround him. And in fact, yesterday, just to prepare the Shiur, I spent $70 to buy. I already had the Torah's Moshe, but not the Torah's Moshe HaSholem. Now, the Torah's Moshe HaSholem has in it Mahadura Shniya, the second edition, and Mahadura Revi'ah, the fourth edition. I already had the first edition and the third edition, but I didn't have the second and fourth. And finally I succumbed. I had to buy it. It's 5 volumes. The second, it has in it the second and fourth edition, and the Chassam Sofer quotes his Rebbe, the Hafla, that tells us a very important yesod. And that principle is that when you learn Torah, it purifies your soul, and it brings you closer to Hashem. And whenever you learn Gemara, or Rishonim and Achronim, and you mention the names of these tzaddikim, whether he says it's Ravina Ravashi, whether it's the Rambam, the Rashi, the Rif, or whether it's Achronim, by mentioning these names, it engenders Kedusha in a Jew. By the Chassam Sofer, I'm remembering, writes on the pasuk, Vishamata Yisrael, Vishamarta La'asois, he darshans, when you hear names of holy Jews, it causes you to keep the halacha better. Okay? So therefore, says the Chassam Sofer, in the name of the brother of the Maharal Prague, the word Gemara is Rashi Tevois, Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and this is the meaning of the pasuk. Vayelchu acharei hahevel vayabalu. That when you talk about nonsense and you talk about the names of people, so you say, "What am I doing wrong? I'm not saying lashon hara. I'm just, talking about was titzach in the Welt. This Russia did that, and that Russia did this, and this player did that." You should know when you invoke a name of someone, that person's character has an influence on you. Hein l'toiv, v'hein l'mutav. You talk about tzaddikim, it influences you. You talk about stam goyim, it influences you. Okay. And in fact, in the Sefer Divrei Torah, you know who wrote the Sefer Divrei Torah? Believe the Minchas Elazar, the Munkacher. He wrote that he has a tradition in the name of his Zeda, the Mahartzah, Mereinu Harav Tzvi Elimelech, the Bnei Yissaschar, that before you daven Shachris, you should learn Gemara. Why should you learn Gemara before you daven Shachris? Because you want the Malachim to carry up your Shachris to Shamayim. And when you learn Gemara, who comes? Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. So in one catch they have a Messiah, they learn Gemara before Tefillah. This way all the Malachim come, and then they escort the Tefillahs to Shamayim. Now where does this come from? Where does it come from that there are 4 Malachim, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel? Well, a source is the Perkei de Rebbe Lezer, Perek Daled. Look at number 5, and you're wondering, what does this have to do with this week's Parsha? Well, you'll see. Arba Kitais Shel Malachi Hasharis Makalsin Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are 4 groups of angels. Machane Rishayna, camp number 1, Michael Miyamina. Michael's on the right side. Machane Shniya Shel Gavriel Al Smaila. Machane Shlishis Shel Uriel Milafanav. The 3rd camp is Uriel before you. Machane Revius, the 4th camp, Raphael behind you. And on top of you is the Shechina. And by the way, the Zohar HaKadosh writes in Parshas Bamidbar the same thing. Michael Miyamina, Gavriel Mismaila, Uriel Lekadamayu, Raphael Acharayu, Shchinta Ilayu. Okay? So this is a Yisoid. It's not just from the Sefer HaChaim, but it's an idea that has sources in the Perkei de Rebbe Lezer and the Zohar, that there are 4 main Malachim, Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. Michael on the right, Gavriel on the left, Uriel before you, and Raphael behind you. And that's why in the Kriya Shema al Hamita, you have a stanza, B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael, Mimini Michael, U'Mismali Gavriel, L'Fanai Uriel, Me'achar Vav Rosh Shechina Askel. So I once thought to say that, you know, what do you call a volume of Gemara? A Masechta. What does the word Masechta mean? So the Rabbi Yehuda quotes the Taisus Yamtiv that it's a lashon of Masach. And the Taisus Yamtiv says Masach has a certain meaning, and the Rabbi Yehuda says his opinion is Masach is a lashon of protection, like the Paroiches, the Sakois al Aron. The Paroiches protects the Aron. So too, says the Rabbi Yehuda, the Torah Shabal Peh protects Torah Shabachsav. That without a Torah Shabal Peh, you could take the Torah Shabachsav and you could take it in any which direction you want. The protection, the guardian of the Torah Shabachsav is the Torah Shabal Peh. But perhaps we could say very Pasha. You know why Gemara is called Masechta? You know what it protects? It protects the Jew. Because when you learn Gemara, you have protection, you have bodyguards. You have Gavriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. That's why it's called Masechta. Not only it protects the Torah Shabachsav, it protects the one who learns it. Okay. Let's take it a little further. Well, the Perkei de Rebbe Lezer says, and the Kriya Shema al Hamita we say, when you have Michael, Gavriel, Uriel, Raphael, the Aroishi, who's resting upon all of them? No? Shechina Askel. The Perkei de Rebbe Lezer says, Shechina Shal HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'emtza, v'yoyeshev al kisei ramaniso. In other words, these 4 malachim form the Merkava, the chariot to the Shechina. Ha! So we go to Shir HaShiurim, Perek Gimel Pasuk Yud. Amudav asa kesef, Rifidasa izahav, Merkava argaman. The Merkava is what? Argaman. How many letters in the word Argaman? 5. Well, you know who they stand for? Who's the Merkava of Hashem? Uriel, Raphael, Gavriel, Michael, Nuriel. So you say, wait a second. Who's Nuriel? How do you get into the picture? We just said there are only 4. Michael on the right, Gavriel on the left, Uriel on the front, Raphael. Who's Nuriel? Well, the Megala Amukais, Rav Nasanata Shapir says, Merkava Argaman. The Merkava Hashem is Argaman. These are the 4 malachim. Hey, wait a second, but there are 5 malachim. Uriel and Uriel are the same guy. When it's Midas HaChesed, it's Uriel. When it's Midas Hadin, it's Nuriel. Okay, that's what he says. But Rabbi said, what does this got to do with anything? Because I have a kasha for you. Because in this week's Parsha, we're introduced to Malachi Asharis that come to greet Abraham. And who comes to greet Abraham? Who comes to visit Abraham? The Gemara says in Bava Metzia, Daf Pei Vav Amud Beis, look at number 11. Manin, who are they? Shloisha Anashim, 3 men. Michael, Gavriel, Raphael, Michael. Now this is not like you learned in first grade. Listen to this. The Gemara doesn't say what they taught you. Michael came to be Mavaser Sarah. Raphael came to heal Avraham. Gavriel came to destroy Sodom. I frecked the Gemara, but it says 2 Malachim came to Sodom. It says Michael, who came to be Mavaser Sarah, came to save light. Not like you learned, Raphael came to save light. Michael came to save light.
Then we had a shiur on this a long time ago. Malachim can't have 2 jobs.
Okay.
At one time, right? It can only have 1 assignment. There's a strong union.
And we had a share on that also. We had a share on that also. Yeah, sure. It's called the Angelic Code. Right? Somebody asked me. Actually, if you want, I don't know if I got the email. Somebody wrote up that share. We'll give Josh Citron. We'll give him credit on the air. He wrote up the shiur, the Angelic Code. But this...
At the same time. First they healed Avraham, then the second they should save love. Not the same time.
But Stam, it doesn't... Could Malach be in 2 places at one time? I don't know. Ask him.
I'm learning Gemara. He's learning Gemara. Everyone has Uriel. Now I'm in the next building.
Don't be so sure so many people are really learning Gemara the right way. Right? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, so the Chidah says that it's a spark of Elio, a different spark. Maybe. I don't know. But here's my kasha. If you're not bothered by it, you should be. How many malachim are coming to greet Abraham?
3.
Michael, Gabriel, Raphael.
What happened to?
No, what happened to Uriel? Why did he get the day off? Well, I thought if you learn Gemara, you have Gemara. Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. So Vas Epis, how could you not be bothered? What happened to Uriel? Where did he go? Right? It's brought down in the Sefer Likutei Ma'amorim. Kan ha-ben Shoyel. Kan ha-ben Shoyel. What happened to the 4th Malach? Why is Avram only getting 3 Malachim? What happened to Uriel?
Maybe he didn't even protect his back.
Well, another thing we could ask is, why does Uriel get such prime real estate that he walks in front of Hashem? Michal's on the right side, Gabriel's on the left side. Yeah, Raphael takes a back seat, and Uriel gets such prime real estate that he walks in front. Why does he get such prime real estate? Why does he get prime real estate? It's like, why is sometimes people walk by the camera? Why are they zoicha to be on? They have a special zechus, right? So why does Uriel get the zechus to be in front of it? Comes along one of the Gurei HaArizal, one of the students of the Ari, the Shachal Torah, and he says, again, our kasha is, listen to the kasha is, that we know if you learn Gemara's Rashi Teva is Gavriel, Michal, Raphael, Uriel. So why is Avram Avinu only getting 3 out of the 4? What happened to Uriel? Why does he only get Michal, Gavriel, and Raphael? The Shachal Torah says an amazing thing. If you take the numerical value of the word Uriel, you get 248, which is the gematria of Avraham. We know Avram is 243. Avraham is 248. So Hashem says, now that I gave you the hay and you're 248, guess whose job you get to take over? You can now take over the place of Uriel. So now all you need is Gavriel, Michael, and Raphael. But you don't need Uriel. Because now that you got a raise, you just got a raise, right? The boss called, hey, we're promoting you. Avram says you get a hay. So he says, what's the hay going to do for me? You get a big job now. Now you get Uriel's job. Now we don't need Uriel. We just need Gabriel. The Sefer Imrei Noyam. Sefer Imrei Noyam from Jacob. Yeah? Sefer Imrei. Now, you should know, and Avi will attest, because he saw me. I went yesterday. I wanted to get the 4th edition of Sam Sefer. So I went to Gift World, and I went to Safra, and I went to, where did you see me? Shiva Arachayim, and I went to Landers, and I went to Chav. Nobody had it. And then I went to Gift World again, and then they had it. But I went to Arachayim to get the Sam, so they didn't have it. But I didn't have Havamina, they would have Jacob, and they had the Jacob the Imrei Noyam on the top floor. So I made a copy, they let me make a copy. He says also, he quotes from Gal Mukos, Argamon, Merkava Argamon, Uriel, Raphael, Gavriel, Michael, Nuriel. And, okay. He says like this. He says, Uriel is 248, Begematria Avraham. Listen to what he says. Before Avraham was Avraham, what was his name? Avram. What's the numerical value of Avram? 243. In Hebrew, how do you say 243? Reish, Mem, Gimel.
That's a 3.
Raphael, Michael, Gavriel. So before Avraham was Avra, right? Before he was Avraham, he was already 243. He already had the jobs of Raphael, Michael, Gavriel. He's only missing one job. Uriel. Now that he has an extra now he's 248. That's Uriel. He gets all 4. So what does Avram become? The Merkava himself. That's why Rashi says, once Avram had the Milah, Vayal Elakim Meyal Avraham. Look at number 15. V'lamadnu shahat tzadikim merkavdoi shel makayim. Tzadikim are the Merkava of Hashem. Why don't we find anywhere beforehand that Avraham was the Merkava? And we don't find anywhere after. So this is what I would like to suggest. Before Avram had the Milah, the Imrei Noyam says he was what? Reish Mem Gimel. He's not the Merkava. He's only Reish Mem Gimel, Raphael, Michael, Gavriel. But now that he has the Hey, so now he is Raphael, Michael, Gavriel, plus the Hey is 248. That's Uriel also. He's got all 4. He's a Merkava by himself. Says Rashi, V'lamadnu shehat tzadikim merkavtoi shel makayim. Now that Avraham is 248, he's all 4 malachim. Now Hashem doesn't have to send him the Uriel. He is Uriel. He's 248. Only those 3. Okay.
Well, he was already the those 3. So what do you need?
Yeah, that's a good cash. I had that cash also. Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah. Now the question is, Lamaisa, he's being sent those 3. Why is he not being? Why is it that it seems like he's taking the place of Uriel more than any of the other 3 malachim? Why is he taking the place of Uriel more than any of the other 3 malachim? So it's suggested in the Sefer Shevilei Pinchas, an amazing thing, that who is Uriel? Who is this Malach Uriel? Well, a lot of people have in their houses Shomer Torah mitzvahs, not Shomer Torah mitzvahs. They have this little pocket thing they keep as a shmira. What is it called? Raziel HaMalach. You ever see that? Raziel HaMalach. This little little thing. It's a shmira. I don't know who wrote it. But the Zohar says that Raziel and Uriel are the same person, and Raziel is Begematria Uriel. Yeah, today's shir is about also Malachim. Look, part of the Torah. You can ask me a question, how does this work? Why does this work? I don't know. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Avram with the hay.
Yeah.
Was the equivalent of the 4 Malachim.
Yeah.
Why did he need help to destroy Sodom? He could have done it himself.
Who?
Avram.
No, he didn't want to destroy it.
No, but he was. He was. That's
so again, you want to know what jobs he takes over, what jobs? I don't know. I don't know all the halachas of Malachi Hasharis. Yeah, but I can't answer that. I don't know. But look at number 17. He brings down from the Tikkunei Zohar that Raziel is Uriel. And the job of Raziel, or the job of Uriel, he's the malach who's memuna over the giving of the Torah. Okay? And that is why he knows Raziel, he knows all the secrets of the Torah. Koraz, Layaneslach. This is the function of the malach. So we know Michal is malach of Rachamim. You ask me questions, how, what, when, I don't know. I'm just, again, I'm reporting the facts to you. I'll give the Torah. But look, every boss has administrators, they have, people who work in the office. I don't know. I'm just telling you the facts over here. I'm just reporting. I don't know. Good question. God, look, Rebbeinu Shalom does it, but He has messengers sometimes. I can't explain. I don't know. If you know, if you think you understand what this means, you don't, because I don't understand what this means. I'm just reporting. I just report the facts. King Isaiah says the Malach Uriel is Raziel HaMalach, who is the Mamuna over the Nesina Satire. And by the way, he writes elsewhere, the Zayar, that his month is the month of Sivan, and that's why the Torah was given in the month of Sivan. Very nice. If you were to ask, at what point in time were Klal Yisrael Zoicha to be the recipients of the Torah? You say, what do you mean? In the year 2448, God gave the Torah to the Jewish people. Well, you should know 500 years earlier, God already orchestrated events that the Torah would be given to the Jewish people.
The year Avram was born.
And that was the year that the Malachim came, actually, in the year 2047, when Avram had his bris milah, and the Malachim came to the house of Avram. And Avram served the Malachim. At that point in time, Klal Yisrael was Zeicha to the Torah. Because when Hashem gave the Torah to the Jewish people, so when the God gave the Torah to the Jewish people, the Malachim said, what are you giving the Torah to the Jewish people? Give it to us. And they wanted to injure Moshe Rabbeinu. They wanted to be Paigeya and Moshe Rabbeinu, says the Medrash. And Hashem was Sar Klaster, Patron of MMH, Kamaya Avram. Hashem made Moshe look like Avram, and the Malachim got scared. Oh, we ate in this guy's house, we can't mess with him. So at the point that Avram is serving the Malachi Asharis, it was that moment that Klal Yisrael was Zoicha to the Torah. In fact, there are many sources, Beis HaLevi on Chumash, in the Sefer Mayadim Uzmanim, and Rav Shamshon Shapoli. There are many, many sources that, based on the Medrash, that when Hashem offered the Torah to the Jewish people, Malachim said, give it to us. Hashem said, he can't give it to you. You don't keep the Torah. They said, we don't keep the Torah. Yeah, you ate Basa B'chalav in the house of Avram Avinu. You ate Basa B'chalav in the house of Avram Avinu. By the way, that's why it's brought down, there's a minhag to eat milk on Shavuos. Because you eat milk, then you wash your hands, and you eat meat, and you show that we could be Zahir B'Basa B'chalav, but not like the Malachim. Malachim don't know how to be Zahir B'Basa B'chalav. So it was in the Chus of Avraham. Avraham put on this whole charade. He set them up to be, he was almost machshel them b'basa b'chalav, so that Klal Yisrael should be zoicha to the Torah. So in the,
doesn't make him a machti?
No, there's no lifnei iver malachim. That you should know. There's no lifnei iver malachim. So anyway, or the Rebbeinu Shalom Hashgacha had it that the malachim should. The stipler asked, but there's only usher if it's cooked. It's not cooked together. So the stipler says the malachim are kulei eish. So when they were eating it, that was the bishul. That's what the stipler says. But in any event, they were not zahir b'basa b'chalav. Okay.
Can we see?
So if you want to know, in whose chus did we have the Torah? Avram Avinu. So Hashem says, look, you know whose job you're going to take the place of? Uriel. Uriel is the malach hamamuna ala Torah. But Avram, it was in your zechus that the Torah was given. When the malachim wanted to be paigeya b'Moshe, Hashem would start casting upon him shel Moshe k'may Avram. It was in the zechus that Avram gave them basa b'chalav that they were zoicha to Torah. So if you want to know, now why does Uriel get prime real estate? Why does he walk in front of? Well, he has the most important job. Michael is the malach of what? Rachamim. Michael, right? The Gemara says in Brachos. What does the Gemara say in Brachos? Michael Be'achas. The Michael, when he does a mission, he does it in one swoop. Because he's Malach of Rachamim. God doesn't want to give him any time to reconsider. Gavriel, he's the Malach of Din. The Gemara says B'shtayim. He has to make a stop. Yeah? Yes, why? Because Hashem wants to give him time to reconsider. Eliyahu. No? Be'arba. Eliyahu Be'arba. Why? Eliyahu times 4 is Pinchas. As far as that. Eliyahu Be'arba. Malach HaMaves B'Shmaina. Malach HaMaves says 8 means there's 7 stops. That's why by Levaya you make 7 stops before the kever. Because Malach HaMaves B'Shmaina. So, but who has the most important job? Uriel. Uriel is the Malach HaMamun ala Torah. Okay, so now we understand, or maybe we don't understand, why Uriel was supplanted by Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu already had all three. Reish Mem Gimel, Raphael, Michal, Gabriel. Now that he's 248, he takes the job of Uriel. And why Uriel? Because it was in the schus of Avram that we were zoicha to the Torah. So Avraham supplants the Malach Uriel. Okay? Nobody has three. Nobody has three. I don't know, maybe there are other Malachim up there. Now, okay, so this was all out there, as they say, yeah? I want to tell you just a very simple thought that occurred to me. The Shla wrote, we know the Tefillah he wrote for Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan. But he writes a very interesting yesod in that Tefillah. And in that Tefillah he writes that we have two mitzvahs. You have a mitzvah of Prurevu, and you have a mitzvah of teaching Torah. And he says it's one mitzvah, it's one idea. The idea is to bring generations into this world for the service, for the purpose of teaching them the Torah. That's why the Shla says, Bereishis bar lakim, Bishvil Yisrael shenikra reishis, but Bishvil HaTorah shenikra reishis. It's not, so you ask, how could you darshan two things from one word? Bishvil Yisrael and Bishvil Torah. The answer is one purpose, it's one function. You ever wonder, the Torah was given on Har Sinai, and when was it secured that the Torah would be given to the Jewish people? In the tent of Avraham Avinu, 400 years earlier. Why is God securing, why is Hashem arranging and orchestrating that the Torah should be secured for the Jewish people 400 years earlier in the tent of Avraham Avinu? If Hashem wants to make sure that the Torah goes to the Jewish people and not the Malachim, so maybe a day before Har Sinai, God could have the Malachim come to Moshe, and Moshe could serve them pizza with pepperonis on top, and the Malachim could eat it. And then Hashem could say the next day, you guys can't get the Torah, it has to go to Abbas. Why is God securing it in the tent of Avraham Avinu?
Because the other nations of the world, right? For Malachim, fine, but he did offer it. At the end of the day, he did offer the other nations. Okay,
the Kli Yakar says they were never really offered it. It wasn't a real offer. The Maral says it wasn't really offered. Okay, but maybe we could say like this. Avraham Avinu is about to get the best report ever. What's the report? There's going to be a Klal Yisrael. So Rebbeinu Shalom says, Klal Yisrael. What's the purpose of Klal? For what? For what? Now's the time we have to secure the Nesinas HaTorah. Because if there's going to be a Klal Yisrael, there's no point unless we could secure at this critical moment that the Torah will go to the Jewish people. It has to go hand in hand. Bishvil Yisrael shenikra reishis, Bishvil Torah shenikra reishis. That if there's going to be a Yisrael, there has to be a Torah. And if at this moment in time Avram is going to get the word that the Karasa Shema Yitzchak, he's going to have the Klal Yisrael will have a future, we must secure the Torah for Klal Yisrael. That is why it wasn't too early. It wasn't 400 years early. It was dead on target. If this is the moment that Klal Yisrael has a future, we must secure at this moment the Torah for Klal Yisrael. I wish everybody a good Shabbos.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.